G1 Climax, July 6, 2019. American Airlines, Dallas. So, I'm just going to cover the tournament only. Lance Archer faced Will Ospreay. Very high flying match. It felt like they were homaging Liger versus Hayabusa and Super Jacob with the aerial moves. Ospreay did Archer. It's a little bit weird too. He was part of Chaos, but they wanted to push Archer, and it didn't seem to work out. Like, it didn't make any sense because he was part of Chaos, and talk about Archer having 8 points. It wasn't really obvious at the end where people started booing Archer after he won the match that Ospreay was way over. And Giant Bob was one of them that, from what I heard about from Kim Justice about how they pushed Masawa over Jumbo Tsuruta after hearing the fan reactions. Get the Hoyt bomb. Let me see what the move is called. Give me a sec. I have it here and I never bothered to change the move. Did not have his signature moves here? Shoot. Inverted crucifix pound, the blackout. Okay, that's what it's called. So he did that from the top rope to finish him. Let's see what else in the match happened. Let me see what else. Let me see what else in the match happened. I forget what Jay White was not on this part of the card. Both guys look fit, Archer and Will Ospreay Jr. Obviously Ospreay because he has to do all that flying. He started with a running Spanish fly. Oh, he tried to do the code red. It was a little sloppy. A lot of the moves were sloppy, like the Sonata match. Or if they didn't have practice or they were jet lagged or something, they got to work on that issue. That issue on a lot of the U.S. matches. But in contrast, though, I would like to say that the good crowds, there's a big fan base, and you can make a lot of money working in the U.S. So they should have G1 and Wrestle Kingdom in the U.S. or City, maybe New York City, especially now that WWE's going back to New York City. The second, we did the Stormbreaker. Interchanged, and then we did the Pounce. Period. The Pounce! Period. They were interchanged strikes. Archer put him for a table. Did suicide dives outside. Hoyt has. This is a 10-year anniversary of Hoyt leaving Impact, and he still looks fit. Maybe a little bit fatter, maybe not skinnier, but like he doesn't look. He looks symmetrical. He doesn't look overly with a belly like some of the wrestlers do. Ospreay obviously is still very young. I mentioned that, when you're Hoyt, you're supposed to be a big guy. You can be big. I was wondering what they were gonna do with him. Oh wow, they did do the ox cutter on him. They kicked out, which is amazing. I guess because he was a super champion. Oscata. What else was I going to say? What are they going to do with Lance Archer? Maybe he can return Impact. Maybe he can rejoin James Storm. They can't give him the world belt in NJPW because even Sonata and Ibushi haven't held it. Maybe that's why people are upset Jay White got it. But I would say U.S. belt probably. I don't know what else they can do with him. Davey Boy gone. Maybe they can have him tag team with someone else. Maybe you can join Chaos. Maybe you can do a turn to Bullet Club. Maybe you can reunite with James Storm and NWA. Maybe you can return the Impact. Maybe Killer Elite Squad will reunite in All Elite Wrestling, etc. Okay, the big punch to Wasper in the face. Archer won with the claw, and people were not too happy with that. They booed him. They mentioned that in the Figure 4 podcast. Folly vs. Evil was a match. I didn't even bother watching that. I didn't think it was going to be that good. I don't even remember who won, and I don't think I care. Like I want Evil to win, but it's not really a big deal to me. Sabre Jr. versus Sonata. So this is a very good 5-star match. I should probably be excited, but I don't know, it's late here, so I'm probably not excited. So many counters. It was a little bit sloppy at times, again to the Jet Lag scene, but like it seemed very good. A lot of counters, submission count. It was like X Division except for submissions, like the big boot. How they finished was amazing too. Let me see what my notes say. Look at the match. Sonata has a good lion beard, the yellow beard. He had the mask going in. They did a lot of pin. They look like they were trying to pin each over early on. They're trying to roll through all the moves, the arm rings. There's a lot of attempts at the Dragon Sleeper. But Zack Sabre Jr. was just so dominant with his octopus stretch at the show, arm rings. He was just so dominant, and then Sonata went out of nowhere with the roll up. I really want Zack Sabre Jr. to win just with the octopus submission because like they both saw the heck out of that move. Like that's how you're supposed to do it with like Bret Hart and like long matches and world heavyweight matches. This is the match of the night. It could have been an X Division match of the night. It could have been an opener of the night. But it's definitely the match of the night, the real match of the night, not the WWE main event that was Okada and Tanahashi, where all the moves are hit. It's not a 5-star match. They only give him 30 minutes. Probably only wrestled 20, and all the good moves. I'll get into that match a little bit later. There's a taunt about like pretending Sonata was gonna get. They cheesed the countouts between Sonata and Zack Sabre Jr. Sonata took some moves out. Zack Sabre Jr.'s move with the cross arms, like this on both sides, and then got out of it, and then taunted Sonata for trying to put it on him, or he turned his back to him, and the ultimate sign of disrespect. Got a whole bunch of arm rings. Imagine the whole hour like this. I felt like it was British submission machine. Whoa. The arm ring. A snapmare into like a headlock, and then he countered it by landing on his feet. Sonata did the 360 off the ropes taunt. I'm surprised he didn't go after Zack Sabre Jr. That's another part of the game where I thought it was sloppy. I think they might have tried to get like Sabre Jr. to like taunt that he was like a more dominant wrestler, by like pretending he didn't see Sonata, but it wasn't compatible with announcers. I felt like it was more of Sonata just had him tease, bring Zack Sabre Jr. back in the ring. Then Zack Sabre Jr. goes the opposite way. Okay, maybe they did do that. If they didn't do that. Let me see what else I said in the Mega Vision Sports Ball Discord. The European Clutch. British Submission Machine, yes. I feel like Sabre Jr. versus Sonata will be the next Tanahashi versus Okada. Sonata's just improved that much since joining NJPW from Muscle One. He has that much attitude. I think he'll be a singles wrestler opposed to Suzuki Gun. Like Shibata or something. Maybe he'll have a few with Shibata. There he goes. There's the arm, getting in the ring, piece him up. I think we're stretching, that's all that. And the roll-up finish in the end was great. Kind of look like he put some weight on here. I don't know, maybe he has to lose it after going to WWE. He's a little bit older. Bushi, I think Bushi's been around since 2009. He has that head injury and he still looks in shape amazingly. It was more about it wasn't a match they wanted. It wasn't very high flying. There's like some kickboxing poses, but it was like very. It felt like Orton-ish, I guess, but it wasn't quite Orton-ish because they moved around when they were doing the sleepers. Oh, it looks like he was doing steroids. Like Bushi's arm was huge. There was takeover tag team partners in the back. The scar on Kenda's arm. Talking about okay, let me see the numbers. Lance Archer averaged 8 points, Sonata averaged 8 points. Ibushi was a winner last year with 12, averaged 9 in their 5 years. Kid had this weird tights. I guess they don't want to make it too Samoa Joe-ish. I think it's sort of like a blue Indian type fashion. Probably like, talk about Tanahashi versus very stiff Bushi versus it's sort of like European except with harder stiffer kicks. It's not one part with the moonsault, but otherwise it was pretty slow paced, very methodical. I felt like they trying to outthink each other. Like it was too short of a match for it to be fully appreciated. Surprised Ibushi got the loss. Kenta got the win. I don't think Kenta's the same Kenta as he was like 10 years ago. I feel like he's sort of like Samoa Joe, a little bit bigger, a little bit less athletic, a little bit not as good in the ring. It's not quite nails versus El Gigante bad, but still like he didn't quite fit in the G1. I think thinking they have Toriano in it. I think it was more of his star power in the fact that he's returned to Japan. Hopefully get better in shape. Some people were like booing Kenta versus Ibushi in the beginning, probably just because of all the posing and it not being a very high-flying, fast-paced match. Probably selling Ibushi's injury and trying to protect Ibushi from injury. Okada looked like he had some weight too. Like he was still in wrestling shape, speed-wise, cardio-wise. The camera screwed up the Rainmaker pose. Otherwise, it's a pretty standard match between Tanahashi and Zack Sabre Jr. It felt like an Attitude Era match where like they were just pointing their moves, and like I didn't quite get in the beginning that I was confused. There was a small package which was a really cool one for Tanahashi. I was confused why the Rainmakers were so weak. The first two Rainmakers were so weak, and then he hit it perfectly, and that showed you the difference between the Rainmakers. I mean, yeah, it's like Rock Bottom versus Stone Cold Stunner, Spine Buster, Sharpshooter, Ruthless Press. Like, it's a standard WWE main event match. It shows you that it wasn't just because of Kenny Omega that they were having these matches. It's probably because of Gedo and Jado. So I guess Okada setting up Tanahashi winning the G. Okada wins, sets up Tanahashi winning the G1 for another Okada versus Tanahashi match, or at least that's what I'm speculating. What are your thoughts? Like, I'm subscribed.